How's it going, everybody? So we have a fun review today as we're talking weapons. Horror marketing in general these past few years has been phenomenal, like the Smile films, or Long Legs, or Together that just came out. I don't think I've been any more creeped out yet intrigued through the bits and pieces of ominous marketing and speculating for months on end on what exactly is weapons about. When all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanishes on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. Now, Weapons is the follow-up for Zach Cregger after the amazing 2022's Barbarian. That in of itself, if you've seen it, you would know it's a pretty wild film. You should definitely check it out. Can't get it on Blu-ray still after all these years, so you're gonna have to watch it through streaming, unfortunately. Speaking as someone who loved Barbarian, Cregger as a filmmaker elevates in almost every single way as far as the scope of his direction here, while managing to refine the shocking twists and turns, crafting unsettling tension, piecing together an ambitious mystery. The structure of how this mystery unravels keeps you fully engaged in the suspense behind piecing together the full story, cycling through multiple perspectives interconnected through chapters. How the story bounces between all these different characters, I think, is genuinely well done. Consistently, there's this uneasiness and emotion in the air that only continues to build in creepiness the deeper they go into finding out what exactly happened at 2:17 a.m. And that's besides the various horrifically wild encounters of folks getting in their way while trying to find out those answers. Though the central mystery is chilling enough, like we saw in Barbarian, Zach Cregger loves to throw in some bonkers, gory thrills to punctuate the horror. In comparison to Barbarian, I don't think he goes as insanely off the wall, but Weapons goes to some wild places with gross, disturbing imagery, especially in the latter half, where things pretty much just go off the rails and get completely nuts. Besides the story just being all around intriguing, the thematic commentary conveyed through the story added several interesting layers how it examines a town enduring such a massive communal tragedy. Though the situation surrounding these kids objectively feels very odd, it is fascinating how through some of these characters' obsession over wanting to know the truth, you see the shades of sensationalism, everyone pointing fingers, throw blame at others instead of having any sort of empathy or trying to help at all. Unfortunately, even though this is a fictional story, we see a lot of that painted in the media all the time. Whenever we see a big tragedy being reported on social media or the news, one of the major reasons why the story structure, alternating perspectives works so well is the cast overall in Weapons is exceptional. Amy Madigan and Alden Ehrenreich are wonderful. Poor Benedict Wong, once you find out more about his character in the movie, makes what you see in the trailers surrounding him, the madness, arguably worse. The emotions that Josh Brolin's character Archer goes through, desperately trying to find his son while his entire family's life is falling apart, is one of the major factors into why the story feels very emotional and personal. You wouldn't know it by watching any of the marketing around Weapons because it is very serious and creepy and ominous, but there's a lot of humor in the movie, and Josh Brolin, I think, has some of the parts in it that are the most funny. You have to remember, Zach Cregger comes from a comedic background, and there was some comedy sprinkled in Barbarian too, so there's some good jokes in here that break up the tension. One of them being this recurring bit that involves him and this other person who keeps popping up without giving too much away. The major standout amongst everyone in the cast for Weapons, though, I think is Julia Garner. There's so much powerful weight behind the devastation of her performance. She is someone that's implicated by the town, believing that she is behind all of this, or at least is at fault in some shape or form because of the demons in her past, though we see her also struggling, processing losing her whole classroom of kids. I love the strength and resilience that her character showcases, doing everything she can not just for herself, but the kids too, to find out the truth behind what happened. Due to the fact that a large part of Weapons and the marketing around Weapons is centered around the mystery, the build towards why exactly these kids disappeared in the middle of the night, the answers for why and the third act in general is going to be, I think, the major point of contention for the movie, or I should say the most divisive section of the film. Most of the events in the third act I definitely think are memorable, since the slow burn fully unleashes into wildly unhinged territory, a territory that I don't think necessarily will work for everybody, because I guarantee that many will have larger expectations for the ultimate answer, because for months now there has been so many different wild theories on what exactly is the reason behind everything. I certainly was wrong with my theories on what exactly the truth was, why exactly they disappeared at this time. Nevertheless, though, I found the reveal to be pretty satisfying. Also, if you're wondering why the movie is called Weapons, there is an answer for that as well, which I won't give away, but it was definitely fascinating. All around, Weapons is a brilliant new chapter in Zach Cregger's filmography filmography. Not only is the mystery at the core following these characters enticing, consistently keeping you on the edge of your seat, the twisted, unhinged terror really pays off with some of the creepiest, gory scares that certainly will stick with me for a very long time. Zach Cregger, slowly but surely, he is becoming one of my new favorite horror directors. I mean, between this and Barbarian, and he did help out on Companion a little bit as well. I think he's climbing the ranks here, you know, as far as the more modern directors in horror. You know, your Jordan Peele's, Robert Eggers, Ari Aster's, although Ari Aster has been kind of slipping in recent years. I say one more horror movie from Zach Cregger that ends up being amazing, and I would put him up there with the upper echelon. Would you get a chance to check out Weapons, though? Make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the film? Did you like the film? Did you not like the film? Thank you guys, as always, checking out videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel so I update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.